Commitment tends to be something where we can tell a little bit about a person. And traditionally speaking, a man isn't supposed to be as committed or available. It's kind of what you think of as like the aloof guy. What's attractive about that?
It's like, I don't know what the fuck is attractive about. What is it? That's something deeper, like rooted in me, where I'm like vying for someone's attention, right? Like, I don't know. That's fucked up, man. I don't know.
I definitely think that gender norms still actually influence, though I do think that there's been an evolution overall in terms of what that might mean and how things have been redefined. Some of us really exist more in an emotional side, some of us exist in so much more of a rational side, and it feels like that those are two competing forces, and when we're guided by what society tells us is okay and normal, then we're gonna be shifted to one end of the spectrum instead of being able to have a more realized sense of ourselves as balanced overall.
Let the nipples fly, let it breathe. So I enjoy when men let it breathe too.
Yeah,
it makes me really happy.
No matter what, there's always shit that can come up in a relationship anyway, whether it's opened or it's closed.
Yeah.
And if you're guiding your decision making today based on what can happen tomorrow, it's something that we call foreboding joy. But it's actually at the cost of just being able to exist in what can be the joyful, loving connection right in this moment.
I know you're the therapist and I'm just the lawyer, but every time there's a murder, you go, oh, there's a deep psychopathy. Okay, everybody can't be insane,
to claim that there's not going to be any mental health disorder that's a part of homicide is
a mental
disorder.
disorder.
Probably actually does have some pretty mental health, severe issues going on. The main issue here is voyeuristic disorder, I would say. She's kind of what we would call histrionic post-traumatic stress disorder. It's a real thing. There tends to be a lot of depression and anxiety. It could be suggestive of conduct disorder because he's threatening other people. He's being physically cruel to animals.
Do you think everybody's insane, Matthew Dempsey? Do you just think everybody's got a mental defect?
Well, 10 years ago or so, I was going to meet up with one of my best friends. His name's Thomas, he's black, and he invited me to a friend's house party. So I go to the house and I go in and I meet up with him and I quickly realize I'm the only white person there. So I think it's hysterical for me to make the joke of, Thomas, I didn't realize that we were partying in the hood. And everybody kind of looked at me a little cockeyed and paused for a moment, and it was like record screeching, radio silence. Think about it, it actually takes a lot of strength and courage for us to be bottoming anyway, because it takes a lot of preparation that goes into it. We have to really open ourselves up to somebody else emotionally and otherwise, and it's something that just has its own inherent value because it means vulnerability and strength and courage in order to do that. Another really good tip is get in the habit of stop calling that person your ex. Stop calling them your ex and start calling them your friend, because you're transitioning out of that relationship into the next thing, and so you just want to give it the proper title.
Actually, I say now, like, this is my friend Matt, we used to date, or something like that. If someone needs contact.
But just really focusing on friend.
Friends forever.
What about new relationships?
If you really do care about that person and you really do want them to be your friend, you're gonna also care about the choices that they make and the people who they date.
The other thing too is that if you are really respectful and kind of that relationship and you're just sending nothing but love and just kind of being respectful of their space, then you're reinforcing to yourself too that you deserve that same thing.
Like, be the friend that you want.
Yes.
And you don't want to be an asshole.
Yeah.
Because you don't want an asshole friend. They want to be a friend.
Right. But maybe you want your friend's asshole.
Maybe you do. Friends with benefits, check out our other video.
So let's talk about sex and dating.
Okay.
As they pertain to social media.
Sure.
So one thing that I have seen a lot in kind of my group of friends is if someone's in a relationship, they're like all up on their boyfriend's social media.
Yeah, so I would say don't do that. So if you find yourself...
Okay, but that's tempting.
Of course it's tempting, and by all means go ahead and do it, but what I'm telling you is if you're going to do it, what you're constantly reinforcing to yourself is, this is what I need to do in order to stay safe in my relationship, to make sure that I still feel loved. So you can do it, but then you're just gonna continue to promote that insecurity within yourself.
So I'm assuming you're against getting your partner's password for Facebook.
Yes!
Okay.
Get off of people's social media. Don't go on people's emails. Don't read people's text messages.
I've never done that. No, I haven't actually, but I know a friend who has.
A friend. I think my biggest question for you is, as somebody who does performance regularly, how are you able to differentiate between performer Jimmy and real Jimmy?
Oh man, that's like a good question. Matt didn't tell me what we were gonna say, and he hit the gate with just like super deep. So, but yeah, totally.
Right to the core.
Yeah, right to the core. I'm like bawling 30 seconds in, like, and then everyone teased me.
What are things that like individuals can do? like individual white gay men can do to start actually making a change, you know, to kind of like expand your thinking.
You said it. It was expanding your consciousness.
But
it's
how?
like
What?
trying to think beyond your own experience.
Yeah.
But also your experiences, right? Like,
Yeah.
who are your friends?
Yeah, who are your friends?
What?
Yeah, okay,
what,
thank you,
What,
yeah.
what entertainment are you watching? What
Got
you know?
it.
What plays are you seeing?
Yeah.
So the choices of who you surround yourself
Yeah.
with, the kind of media that you're exposed to, like
Right, because
who you
by-
might be open to dating,
Try-
and
yeah,
actually
exactly.
making
Try
those
dating.
challenges.
Right, because here's the
outside.
thing: we read.
Who gonna love me?
No, we